Hey, woo! Good day, family. Sanbonani Dumelang. Hello, Upshani. How are you? I greet you all in the name of the One Most High, in the name of the greatest creator, in the name of us, because we are that creator experiencing itself in many different aspects of itself. Welcome to another episode with me, your host, Mathics Mahlangu. Man, I'm so cool with these introductions. I'm so cool. I want to do it again, but then I have to continue on. Welcome to another YouTube video with me, your host, Mathics Mahlangu. Yes, so many people have been waiting for today's episode, guys. So many people have been waiting for today's episode because today I am decoding the one and only movie that the people in the spiritual community always talk about. And that movie is the one and only The Matrix. And I'm not even going to waste time because, I got a lot of notes. I think I've got like 2, 3, 4 pages here. And I want to cover them as quickly as possible. But I spoke with another sister yesterday and she said, Mathics, I want to watch your video before I actually see the movie. Because what I used to say is that watch the movie and then watch my decoding. But I guess you can do it any way that you want to. You can watch me decoding it and then watch the movie again, or watch the movie and then come back and watch me decoding it. So now the first thing I want to let you know, because I want to keep this within a certain framework in terms of time. The first thing I want you to know about all of these movies that I'm decoding is that these movies are based on what we call a blueprint of what is known as the hero's journey, the journey of the soul that the ancient Africans taught about, or they spoke about a lot within the hieroglyphics, or when they spoke about the many gods. This story of the hero is found everywhere in the Bible. It's found in your modern day movies, be it animation, be it Marvel movies. It's found everywhere. They all follow a certain blueprint. Now today we're going to be checking out the movie The Matrix. And what you also need to study is what is called Gnosticism. So there's 2 levels to what we call Christianity. There were the Christians back in the day who were the priests, who dealt with things on a physical level. Those are the people who are going around destroying and conquering, destroying knowledge and conquering lands. And then there were a different type of Christians which were called the Gnostics. These were the Christians that were dealing with a different side, which is what we call the esoteric side of knowledge, because there's an exoteric, just like how ants or insects have an exoskeleton. It's something that deals with the external, whereas the Gnostic people were dealing with an esoteric type of knowledge, which deals with things on an inner level, which points to you being the divine being that now must resurrect itself. So now we're gonna get straight into the movie. So now the movie, The Matrix. When we started the movie, it starts off with Trinity. It starts off with Trinity, and right there they're letting you know about the feminine principle. So it starts off, or the female. It starts off with Trinity under distress. So now there's all those particular agents around her, so immediately lets you know that we are dealing, when you're talking about a matrix, you are dealing with the feminine principle, because the woman within herself is the matrix. The matrix is matter, it's corporeality, it's physicality. So now Trinity is under distress, because if you look at our society today, there's no one who's more attacked than the woman itself. In fact, man have wanted to dominate the woman in terms of physical strength, knowing how superior she is in terms of spiritual, internal, and mental, all things non-physical. All things non-physical. So man have always wanted to dominate over the woman, and not just every man. I'm talking about the fallen man, or the fallen elders, the people who are so-called running the world. It's mostly males. So now that's how the movie starts. It starts off with Trinity under distress, and then now the next scene that they show here is where they show you the actual hero or the main character, which is Neo. So it starts off with Neo sleeping. So immediately they let you know what's going on. Neo is sleeping, but now he's sleeping what? Not physically. Don't look at it as physically, as I told you. He's sleeping in consciousness. That's how it starts. If you check out most movies, the hero always starts off sleeping because it shows you the particular state that is in. So now the computer jumps on. It says, Neo, wake up. The Matrix has you. And then he sees that on the screen, and then it says, follow the white rabbit. Okay, cool, right? So now, let's talk about Neo. Who is Neo? Neo, if we are talking about all of this is internal, Neo is the neocortex. The neocortex, which is the what they call the new brain within humanity. I want you to Google the neocortex and see what it deals with. It is the latest evolutionary part of the evolution of God experiencing itself in physicality. Because at the base of the spine, you have a reptilian brain, which they call the R complex. And then right at the front is what they call the new brain, which is what Neo represents. Neo is the neocortex, which is the front brain. So I want you to Google the neocortex and find out what the neocortex is about. So now Neo wakes up, and then some gents knock on the door. And then immediately they show there, they say what? Room 101, which lets you know what's 101. We know when you are dealing with something, when you say 101, it's something that is new. So for beginners. So he is beginning. It's the 101 of his evolution, the 101 into the next state that he is going to be stepping into. So now the first lessons of this 101 is that Neo first of all learns about what we call the synchronicity with the knock on the door, because the computer, just before he opened the door, it said what? Knock, knock, and then boom, there was a knock, knock on the door. So immediately that lets you know of synchronicities. So now we're going on here. So now a group of people come to the door. Neo goes to the door, he opens it up, and then the guy is looking for something, and then Neo goes back inside, and then Gav this part. This part is very important. When Neo goes back inside to grab what the guy is looking for at the door, look at the book that he has stored in, or look at what he's holding. It's written on it, it's written simulacrum or simulation on it, which lets you know what this movie is going to be dealing with. A simulation is something that is not real but can appear real, just like virtual reality. So now Neo goes, and then he opens that book. Read everything. You must look at every details. So first of all, we see that book. It says simulacrum and simulation. So it lets you know what this movie is going to be dealing with the simulated world, the simulated universe, which Elon Musk also speaks about this when he says that in the future there will be games that seem so real that you won't be able to tell them apart from reality. And Morpheus also says something like this in the movie. So now Elon Musk says that what if this already happened thousands of years ago and we are in such a game? But then again, we'll get to that at the end of the part. I'm just like going fast here. I hope you have a pen or something for you to take notes, or you can rewatch this. It's okay. So now when Neo comes up to give the guy the particular thing that he's looking for, what does the guy say? He says, hallelujah. You are my savior, my own personal Jesus Christ. Immediately the guy lets you know who Neo is. So now Neo is playing the Messiah. He is the Christ here. He is the savior, as we will see on later on as we continue on. So now Neo says that, Neo says to this guy, he says, if no one should find you with that. And then the guy says to him, he says, don't worry. I was never here. This never happened. You don't exist. Immediately they're referring back to the simulation, because the simulation is something that doesn't exist. And we're still going to get into that. The guy says, no, don't worry. I was never here. You don't even exist. And then Neo says to the guy, they're about to go out. And then Neo says, you ever had a dream? You ever had a feeling if you don't know whether you are awake or still dreaming? And then the guy says, man, it just sounds like to me you just need to unplug. Come with us. Let's go. Let's go out and let's go have fun. And as he was about to say no, boom, he gets hit with another 101 of synchronicity, because what happens? He sees the white rabbit on the girl's shoulder, and the computer at the time when he was just awakening, what did it say? It said, Neo, follow the white rabbit. So already it's showing you the synchronicities that begin to take place, because all of this is talking about you. Do not externalize these things. Do not think it's about anybody else except for you watching this video. You are Neo. You are Neo. Let's continue on now. The guy says, it sounds like to me you just need to unplug. Woo! You just need to unplug. All right, cool. So he sees the white rabbit. That's another synchronicity. They go to the particular club, and there he meets Trinity. And then after meeting Trinity, they have a whole conversation. Trinity says to him, it's the question that drives us. Just like us, when we were kids, we had many questions. The questions were what were driving us in terms of, what is this place? What is this all about? If God created me, who created God? What is this? We wanted to know. So the question drives you. That's why the Bible says, be like children, because children are known for asking questions. Be like children. So now we're gonna continue on, and then so he meets Trinity, and then the next scene they show him at his work, and now he's talking with his boss, and his boss says to him, Mr. Anderson, you have a problem with authority. You have a problem with authority. Let's see. You have a problem with authority because what's that showing is that authority is what the Matrix is all about, rules and control. So those who are beginning to question the nature of their reality, you begin to have a question with their authority, be it your work, the government, parents, just authority in general. Or like, questioning authority doesn't mean you are disrespectful or you are a bad person. It just means you are beginning to use those cognizant parts of your brain that are logical. You are beginning to question what people are telling you. So now the next thing, he gets a phone call. Someone delivers to him a phone call. So now the phone call represents what? What does a phone represent? Communication and connection. So now he's basically now communicating with a different part of himself, and he's talking to now who? His inner guide. His inner guide being who? Morpheus in this particular instance. So now the word Morpheus, what it means is Morpheus is the god of sleep. That's what Morpheus deals with. So Morpheus is going to be the one who helps Neo, the neocortex, to awaken from sleep. Because Morpheus is also who? Morpheus is also Osiris in ancient African mythology, because Osiris, the father of Heru, which is the hero, which is Neo, is who? Is the king of the underworld, or he's the king of the underworld. So now he must awaken his son, his son must resurrect himself, which is this part, the conscious mind. The conscious mind. So now Neo represents the conscious mind, and Morpheus could represent the subconscious mind, which is who? Which is Osiris, which awakens the conscious mind from its sleep. So now they give Neo the phone. Let me see here. Bam. Morpheus. Okay. I already spoke about that. So now we see him. When Morpheus tells him, he's like, look up, man, there's agents coming. Now what those agents represent is that the agents represents the particular things that begin to happen within us internally when we begin to awaken. We begin to fear, we begin to doubt, we begin to question. So that's what those agents represent. And the cubicles that Neo is actually running within represents the different convolutions of the brain. Because understand that all of this is happening within the brain. Watch my last video where I talk about the Matrix, where I say the real Matrix. I think I call it the real Matrix. Where I explain what the Matrix is. The Matrix is the brain, it's physicality, it's the body. So the cubicles that they are chasing him within represents the particular convolutions of the brain, that you as a human being, your consciousness begins to move through different faculties of your own mind. as you begin to question reality, you start running around your own mind. That's what this scene is representing right here. So let's continue on. Morpheus is his inner voice. And actually, when you awaken the inner God within you, you can actually hear a voice as clear as I am speaking to you right now. Boom. So Neo says that, why is this happening to me? I'm nobody. As he's running there, he's like, why is this happening to me? I'm nobody. I didn't do anything. And that's the problem. He thinks that he's nobody, but he's actually somebody. And that's your problem too. You think that you are a human being that has to go work at a job, that has to go take care of the kids, pay rent and all of these things. Yeah, do that. We're not saying that that's bad, but there's more to you than just you being a mother or a father or an employee. That's what this is showing. Neo is saying that I'm nobody. No, Neo, you are somebody. You are a divine spark just under amnesia. That's who you are. That's who you are. Let's continue on. So now he gets scared when Morpheus tells him that he has to go down there. So he gets scared. And immediately, look at what happened when he got scared. He drops the phone. So that immediately shows you what fear does. Fear, the moment you begin to fear and doubt, you lose the connection with the higher part, with the inner voice, which is what Morpheus was representing here. So when he got scared, when he was on the balcony or on the edge of that tallest building, he was like, oh, then he dropped the phone. So that means that he dropped the communication with the inner, because fear, doubt, these are lower emotions that disconnect you from the God within. Let's continue on. So now it continues on. The agents of the government, they trap him. And the word government, govern. When we look at the word government and we break it down etymologically, the word government means, first of all, break it in half. It means govern, to govern. Ment is mental. So the government is that which governs your mental. Just like the agents here, they tell you what to do, what rules to do. You need to have a driver's license. You need to have a permit. You need to get vaccinated now to go here. You need to do this. So the government are the agents of the system which govern a person's thinking. 90% of the world right now are reacting, or they are acting according to what people in so-called power are telling them to do. It's lockdown, stay in your house. No, now get a vaccine. Oh no, now do this. Oh no, now where's your security card? Where's your passport? Where's this? They are governing your mental, your actions. These are the agents of the system. So now we are continuing on with it. So now after that, Neo wakes up in his room, and then Morpheus calls him again. He says that, yo, I have been looking for you. Now, Morpheus is the inner God. He's the subconscious mind. He says that I've been looking for you, my man. You've been looking for me for a few years, but I've been looking for you my whole life. You know why? It's because Neo represents, as I said in the beginning, the new brain. Neo represents the new way. That's what Neo is. He's the neocortex. As I said before, Google before you continue on. Google what the neocortex is and read up on it, and then continue on with this video. So he says that I've been looking for you. So Morpheus knows that Neo is the one, because he represents the new way of changing the particular system. So now he says that, come here, my nigga. I don't have enough time, but let's go come to Adam's Bridge. This part is very important. Adam's Bridge. He says, let's meet at Adam's Bridge. You have to take... You don't have to take a sip. You have to take every word into consideration in terms of what is being said in these movies. He says, let's meet at Adam's Bridge. Why? Because Neo is Adam. Neo is Adam in the Bible. You remember I told you that all these stories are the same. Neo is Adam in the Bible. And then Morpheus is the particular serpent in the garden. But then we're going to get to that. So now Adam's Bridge, because Neo is Adam just before he's about to be enlightened or awakened. let's continue on. So now, Trinity, the feminine principle, once Neo gets within the particular car, Neo is about to leave, right? Because who Trinity represents Eve. Trinity is Eve in the story. Just like how in Lion King, Nala is Eve. She is the one who comes to Adam or to Simba and says, yo, awaken. And then the hero, the Neo, the Heru, awakens and then remembers their true divinity. So Trinity is like, no, man, trust me, Neo, please listen to me. She says that you've been down that road. You know what's at the end of that road. Because, let me see here. She says that you know what's at the end of that road, which means the mundane things of life. You know you gotta wake up at 6. You know you gotta go to your job. You know you gotta come back and do. You know all of these things. You know the particular program of the Matrix. I want to show you something new. Just like how Eve was like, Adam. I know, but we're going to get to that. So now, Neo represents the left brain. It's logical. Trinity represents the right brain, which is intuitive and imaginative. That's what she represents. She's like, no, trust me. Just like when Eve was like, yo, Adam, bro, trust me, bro, if you eat this apple, okay, but then we're going to get into that. Siabangena. We're going in, guys. Remember SABC 1? I feel like taking an ad break. Hey, yeah, mampela. I forgot what. Okay, but time. I'm trying to do this all in a limited time. I don't want it to go over. So she's like, please trust me. And then, so now they are going to meet who? They are going to meet Morpheus. So Neo stays in the car. They take out that particular chip that the agents have bugged him. Because all of us are chipped. All of us are being tracked by the government. It doesn't have to be that you are chipped here, but your actions track you because they know what you're going to do. They've already programmed your mind. So when they were taking that out of his solar system, or out of his solar plexus, which is in his stomach, his gut, they were taking out the things out of, so his gut feelings were beginning to talk to him. So they were unplugging him from being tracked, from being hacked, from being, from doing things that he was programmed to do. So now he was stepping into his solar plexus, which deals with personal will and power. That's what they were doing in that scene when they were removing that. Let's continue on here. So now they, as they're going to meet Morpheus, notice what's happening. What happens before they meet Morpheus? They walk up the stairs because the stairs represent the spinal cord or ascension. Just like when they were initiating Chitala, if you watch my Black Panther decoding video, there were stairs there. I spoke about the stairs. Stairs are important because they represent ascension. So now Neo was ascending to meet who? His inner guide, to meet the inner force within him that has been talking to him. Behold, I have seen God face to face, just like Jacob in the Bible. But then we're going to continue on. Boom. So he's ascending the stairs and then he's going to meet Morpheus. The stairs is the ladder of Jacob in the Bible where Jacob saw the angels ascending and descending. So now he meets Morpheus. Morpheus represents the snake in the garden. And then Morpheus says to him, let me tell you why you are here. You are here because you know something, man. You feel that there's something wrong in the world. It's something that's like there in the back of your mind, like a splinter. You feel it, that there's something wrong in the world. You can't explain it. You feel it when you go to church, when you go to work, when you pay your taxes, that there's something wrong with the world. And that's what Morpheus is telling him. And he's like, yeah, my nigga, it's the world that has been pulled over your eyes. So now Morpheus is what? Now awakening Neo, or Adam, because he's the serpent. He's now giving. All right, let's go in here. Morpheus is the snake in the garden, right? Morpheus is the snake in the garden, which first spoke to who? Which first spoke to Eve, or it gave Eve the apple first, to bite. The apple is the pineal gland, which is the knowledge that opens you up between good and evil. Because before that, Neo was living in ignorant bliss. Until the serpent came to the woman first, and it's like, hey, and then the woman, which is Trinity, which is Eve, went to Adam, which is Neo, and says, hey, Baba, there's something else. And then this is what this whole scene is representing here. Yo, these gems. These gems. Okay, let me continue on. So after that whole scene, Morpheus tells him that, yo, man, you feel that there's something wrong in the world. And then he gives him the option between taking the blue pill and the red pill, which is the tree of good and evil in the Bible. God said that you shall not eat of the tree of good and evil. But then one thing you need to understand is because they make it seem as if like the snake in the garden and God were enemies. No, the snake and the garden were like this, because the snake is not a physical snake. It's an aspect which represents intelligence. Because why else in the Bible would they say that be ye wise as serpents if the snake was so evil? The snake represents intelligence, which is why you always see shamans in South Africa, and not even just South Africa, Africa, they would have like dukes on, and they would have like a snake, because the snake represents that intelligence. It's a life force. It represents the energy because of how it moves. Energy doesn't move in straight lines. It moves in curves in the same way that a snake moves. So it represents that intelligence. So now Eve was bringing Adam to the snake, which is wisdom. Oh! What? Woo! Oh! No! Okay. Young shy. Whew. Okay, let me see. Let's continue on here. So now, after that, they go into a next scene now. So now, Neo, after taking the red pill, what happens? He sees himself, and guess what? He sees himself in a broken mirror. So now the mirror is broken because that represents the scattered parts of his psyche. He's seeing his own reflection, that his mind has been scattered between Christianity, between Muslim, Buddhism. I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm this. No. And then so now his mind is coming together. That's why you begin to see that mirror starting to now become whole again, because his psyche is beginning to now fuse back into a one state. It's division is what separates you from God. When you say that you are a black person, I hate you. You are a white person, I hate you. You are an Indian. You're not a Christian. You're a Muslim. When you begin to, that's Neo. When he's seeing himself in the scattered mirror, he's seeing the parts of his mind that are in division, because he still doesn't understand yet that he is one with the all. Let's continue on. So the mirror now forms back to itself to show that Neo's psyche is coming back together again. Boom. Let's see. Let me see. So now, let's see here. Okay. So then the next scene, they're showing Neo where he's meeting the rest of the crew member. The particular crew. Now, what the crew represents is that they are basically a council. They are a council. So they are what? They are the Elohim within the Bible, because the word Elohim means what? It means a council of gods. Because when Adam had eaten from the fruit that Eve had given him, which Eve was given by the snake, what did they say? Somewhere in Genesis, they say, behold, he has become like one of us, knowing of what? Of good and evil. Which means that Neo, before the fruit, he did not know of good and evil. He thought that that's what he was. He thought that he was a computer hacker. He thought he was here. He thought that he was just a guy in the garden having to name the animals. Just that's all that he did. That's all that he did. But then God knew that there's a higher potential for you, man. But then it needed something else to trigger you. And that was the serpent in the Bible, which represents wisdom and knowledge. So now we're going to continue on. So now he meets the Elohim, because guess what? After Neo ate that, he became, just like they say in the Bible, behold, now he's like one of us, knowing of good and evil, which means that knowing that there's a matrix, and then that there's people stuck within the matrix, stuck in corporeal thinking, stuck in thinking that this body is who they are. I gotta go to work, as I said. Oh man, I'm hungry. Oh, I'm horny. Oh man, I'm sick. You think that these things are you. So that's what Neo had been awakened from now. He had become like the gods. He had eaten of the tree of good and evil, which is what Morpheus gave him. And then boom, Morpheus says, have you ever had a dream that you... no, Morpheus says, yeah, have you ever had a dream that you were so sure that is real? What if you were never able to wake up from that dream? How would you tell the difference between the dream and the real world? Woo-hoo-hoo. Right now you are watching this video. You feel so real. You're sitting on the couch, on the bed, wherever you're watching this from, your phone, your laptop, on the TV. You think it's real. You think it's real. You think it's real because you can touch yourself, you can taper yourself, you can pause this video, go make food, eat, take a dump. You can do anything that your conscious mind tells you, so you think that that's real. But can't you do the same things in a dream? In a dream, you've had dreams of you doing things that you do in real life. So Morpheus is basically asking him, yo, my brother, how do you distinguish ukuthi like neti maga, truth, lies? Okay, I don't know in Afrikaans. That's where I'm gonna end it. Like, yo, my nigga, like, have you ever had a dream that felt so real? How would you be able to distinguish between the two? That's what he's asking him there. Bam, bam, bam. Let's see, let's continue on. Where was I here? Oh, there we go. I'm here. I hope I am still recording. How far am I? Oh my God. All right. We're almost there. We're gonna get it. So now they show us a scene where Neo is getting unplugged. So they show all the plugs on his body. These are the things that had him sleeping. You see, when they show him there and he's awakening, that's what has had him sleeping. The moment you are born as a person, you immediately are born into a system. You are born into a matrix. Immediately your parents have expectations for you that, she's gonna be a nurse. Oh, he's gonna be an engineer. He's gonna be a doctor. They are plugging you just as they were plugged. Your teachers have expectations. You're gonna succeed in the world by being mechanical. They are plugging you. They are giving you ideas that are not your own. That's what those things are representing. Church is telling you this. If you're not a Christian, you're gonna go to hell. Plug you. If you're not a Muslim, you're gonna go to hell. Plug you. That's what those cables were. It's the particular thoughts that are not yours that have plugged you into making you think that you are something else other than what you truly are, which is a divine spiritual being, which is a divine God, which is a divine goddess, a magnificent being that has no time, no space to limit it. You are unlimited. You are the supreme, but you have been plugged now, through all these things that, you are born, you go to primary, you go to crash, you go here, here. After this, you get a degree, you get a job, you must make babies, pay taxes, boom, die. Those are what those plugs are. So now he gets lifted up after they show the plug, and then they're showing this scene where now there's this light that represents what? He's going up. It's illumination. So now as they are putting him there, like there's this kind of, what do they call this? Acupuncture. So now they've like got all these needles on him, because once your consciousness begins to change, your body begins to change, because your atoms and cells are controlled by your thoughts. So now his muscles had been atrophying because he hasn't actually been using them. It had been used by the system. It had been used by the mind control that I feel like getting McDonald's, going to McDonald's. I feel like Coca-Cola. You know, he hasn't been using his own body. And he also says here, why do my eyes hurt so much? And Morpheus says, it's because you haven't used them before. We also find this in the Bible. They say that in the last days, they will have ears but not hear. They will have eyes but not see. Right now, you are looking at things but you don't see. There's pyramids on the earth. Nobody ever asked themselves, who put those pyramids there? There's people who know that there's pyramids but they don't care. They know that the pyramids can't be explained. They hear about it, but they don't care. They see them, they don't care. There's portals. There's many things happening in the world that people see and know about, but they can't comprehend it. So that's what this scene was about. Why do my eyes hurt? Morpheus says, because you've never used them before. He's been seeing with the two eyes, and now he's seeing with the one spiritual eye. Let's continue on. So now, after that, he tells him about the ship Nebuchadnezzar, and so now they take him to the construct. Now, when they're in the construct, Morpheus says to Neo, Neo says, so this is not real. And then Morpheus says, what is real? If you are talking about what you can taste, see, touch, smell, then real is nothing but electrical impulses being interpreted by your brain. Because even you watching this is nothing but your brain telling you that you are watching this. It's interpreting this through electrical frequencies that are being sent through your brain. And then you are able to now perceive this, but it's not real. It's just your brain. Your brain is the computer. Your brain is the matrix. Let's continue on here. So then Morpheus tells them what happened to the human race, and he says to them that babies are no longer born, they are grown. Literally, babies are grown. That's what I was saying, that the moment you are born, you are told what you are going to be. People already have expectations of you. The system already has expectations of you. Yeah, you're gonna be an accountant. Oh, you're gonna be such a great this. People are already choosing for you. So you are not being born, you are grown. The system already certifies you through the birth certificate. They're like, yeah, you are a product of the system. You are not your own. They are owning you. You see? So now we're going to continue. You are being grown artificially. Damn. So they show the baby how the plugs begin at birth. So now the Morpheus says that the matrix is a computer generated dream world to keep you under control in order to change a human from a human being into a battery. And that's what the system is doing, because without you, the system would shut down. So you are the battery that's keeping the system alive. Every day when you go to your work that you hate so much, you are keeping your job alive. Every day when you do something that you hate because you feel that you must do it for survival, you are keeping it alive. So you are a battery for it. That's what they are talking about here. Yeah, that's why they say you pay attention. That's the energy, what you focus on. You're a spiritual being that can transverse and move throughout galaxies, but then you are focused on only this. I'm gonna drive a car. Nigga, you can fly to Mars with just astral projection, but you don't know that, because why? You are a battery for the system. Let's continue on here. So now Neo's plugged. He tells them they want to turn a human being into a particular battery. And so after that, Neo goes into denial. He's like, no, it's not real. He's not real. Just like, and just in like my last Black Panther video, when T'Challa came back from the spirit world, what did they tell him? They said, breathe. Breath is the key. Remember, watch my video I did about Jesus and the breath. It'll explain everything. I'm not going to talk about it here. We're trying to cover time. So they're like, breathe, Baba, breathe, because the breath is the key. So now, Neo is like, I don't believe it. It's not real. Do you know who Neo is? Do you know who Neo is? Do you know who Neo is? Neo is Thomas Anderson, right? Who is Thomas in the Bible? Thomas is one of Jesus' disciples. Who is Neo? Neo is the doubting Thomas. Neo is the doubting Thomas. He doesn't believe it. Just like when Jesus was crucified and then Thomas was like, nah, bro, show me the particular shandies on your hands. Show me the holes so that I can believe. That's who Neo is. He's the doubting Thomas. He's like, I don't believe it. It's not real. So he's still ascending within his own psyche. It's happening step by step because Christ is a process. Just as I say, when you plant a mustard seed, it's a mustard seed, but then tomorrow it'll be a giant oak tree. It's a process. You don't plant a seed and tomorrow it's a tree. It's a process. So the movie is showing you the process or the journey of the hero. Let's continue on here. So now, Neo is the doubting Thomas. So now, Thomas in the Bible, when you look at him, watch my other video that I made. It's 2-3 minutes short about the different disciples of Jesus and what they represent. So now what Thomas represents the front brain within the human, because the 12 disciples of Jesus are the 12 signs of the zodiac, and they are also the 12 cranial nerves within man that control your motory, sensory, auditory, your different functions. So Thomas represents the front brain, which deals with what? Reason and understanding. That's why he was like to Jesus, and Jesus respected him for that. He's like, yo, my nigga, nah, bruh, show me ukuthi vele you were the one who was dead and now resurrected. And then Jesus was like, cover, bruh, here, this is where they put the nails through me. That's who Thomas was. So he doubted. He's like, nah, bro, you can't just come here and tell me that. That's reason, logic, intellectual perception. That's who Neo is in this movie, in this particular part. He's the doubting Thomas. He still doesn't believe, right? So now that's who Thomas is. He represents at the front brain. And remember, I told you about the neocortex. So now the next scene, they're showing Neo and Morpheus talking. And then Neo says that, I can't go back, can I? Am I still recording? I'm still recording. And then Morpheus says that, if you could, would you really want to go back? And then Morpheus apologizes. He says, hey, man, I'm sorry, man. We have a rule here. And this rule is that we never awaken somebody after they get past a certain age. It's because their minds have a hard time letting go. And you people watching this video, I'm sure you've seen this in your life. You can't just come up to your parents and tell them, Mama, the government is controlling us. Mama, there's families that are ruling the world. Africa has been colonized. They stole all our... They want to think you crazy. No, Jesus is actually stolen from... No, their minds will have a hard time letting go of that because they believe so much in Jesus. They believe so much in Buddha, in the religion that people have grown up in. They believe so much in that they have a hard time letting go of that. So that's what Morpheus was talking about. You can't just walk up to random people and start telling them spiritual knowledge. They're going to think you crazy, bro. They're going to think you blasphemous. And that's what they did to Jesus when they were like, nah, bro, you being a man say that you are you are a god, so that's why we're trying to kill you. That's in John 10 verse 34 to 36. Now let's continue on here. So bam, you can't go back. They have a hard time letting go. Okay, so the next scene, they are uploading programs within his mind. That just shows you that when you awaken spiritually, the DNA begins to upgrade your system, your brain. You are rebooting, basically rebooting. So now Morpheus says, when they go into the training program and he's teaching him how to fight, Morpheus says, don't think you are, know you are. There's a difference between thinking and knowing. Don't think that you are great, know that you are great. Know it, affirm it. Feel it, believe it, know it, know that you are great. Leave the doubt, the fear, free your mind. So now, the next thing, they're going to that jumping simulation, and he tells him again, yo, bro, it's about freeing your mind, letting go of doubt. Because when you begin to doubt that you are the God that you really are, the system still has you. So now they go into a different program, and then he tells them, he's like, yo, bruh, all the people that are in the system, they are so much dependent on the system that they are not ready yet to be freed. This goes back to the thing of the ages, that if when people are still at a certain age, they are not ready to let go of the system. So your parents, your grandparents, come on, man, they for 50 years, they've known that there's a white Jesus who died for me. They're gonna believe that if you come and be like, Mama, Jesus wasn't really, they what? No, man, it won't make sense to them. That's what this was about when Morpheus was telling them that, yo, bruh, these people are dependent on the system. And until their minds are free, they are still part of the system. Thus, then they are your enemy. Not that they are your enemy, that you should hate them, but they still believe in the program. So they are the enemy of the new way, of believing of the Christ way, the New Testament. They are still stuck in the Old Testament, in the old body. Testa meaning body. Testament meant, again, government meant meaning mind. Stuck in the old mind, Old Testament, old body, old mind. You need to be in the New Testament. New Testament, new body, new mind, which is what you were seeing with that acupuncture when they were healing him. You have to step into the new body and be transfigured. Let's continue on here. The people are still part of the system. He's showing them that particular thing. So now, then there's a lady in a red dress who passes, and then Morpheus says, were you listening to me or were you looking at the lady at the red dress? And when he turns, the agent is pointing a gun at him. Remember I said that the agents represents the particular faculties that connect you to the system, the fears, the doubts, the distractions. So the lady in the red dress represents the lower passions. You feeling that the red represents that passions, the root chakra. So that's what that lady the lady represents, that distractions in the matrix that could get you killed consciously, or that could stop you, that could hinder you from awakening the God within you. Know ye not that ye are gods? My people suffer because of a lack of knowledge. So it says in the scriptures. Let's continue on here. So then the next scene, they show Neo with Cypher, the guy that they call Cypher, and then Cypher says to him, he's like, Jesus, what a mind job. So you are here to save the world. What do you say to something like that? And that's very profound. You save the world. You are saving yourself. Your body is the world. And like, that's something that's very big, So now we're going to continue on here. So then they show Cypher with the agent, because Cypher represents the devil's advocate. Cypher, if you look at the name Cypher and you add Lu to it, it's Lucifer. So he represents the devil's advocate there, because he's the opposing force of the Christ. He is the one who is opposing it. And then he says something interesting. He says that, man, even though I know that this steak is not real, I still enjoy the taste of it. I'll tell you something, ignorant is bliss. And then he tells them that I want to go back to the system. Make me somebody important. Make me someone like a doctor. Immediately they're pointing to reincarnation. That you can come back here. Just like when Morpheus was telling him about the people that are dependent on the system. He says, you look around, what do you see? You see doctors, lawyers, carpenters, all these people. That's what they think they are. You think you are a lawyer. You think you are a marketing agent. You think you are a teacher. You think that the job that you do is your purpose and it's what you are. No, that's not what you are. Those are side things. Those are the distractions. It's the lady in the red dress. Let's continue on here. Not saying quit your job. I'm just like giving you the gems. Let's go. Like, what are you gonna eat tomorrow? I'm gonna quit some savings. Yeah, time to quit. Mathics said that. It's a red dress. I gotta quit my job. No. Hey. Speaking of which, guys, if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy the particular things that I bring to you, check out in my descriptions there. My banking details are there. If you just want to support me for the course, for me to continue on doing this, you don't have to pay me for me to do this, but just out of the goodness of your heart, my banking details are there. If you just want to support me, information is free. As I said, I want to tell you that, because people be like, if it wasn't free, I wouldn't even put it here in the first place. This is your information. I'm just reminding you. And I'm also just saying that, I'm also within the matrix. So I gotta eat, I gotta buy things here, to make things even nicer. Laptops, cell phones. I already got a mic. Oh, okay, my little sister got a mic, but I need particular tools. So if you just want to support me, or if you just enjoy and you just feel like, hey man, I like this, boom, here, bless me. You don't have to give me a certain amount, but let's continue on. Thank you, by the way, for your generous contribution. into the cause of awakening. So now, Jesus. Cypher is who is Lucifer. He is also who he's the devil's advocate, and he's the one who's going to betray them. So he's basically Judas. So now the next thing, now they are taking Neo to go what? To go see the oracle. They're taking Neo to go see the oracle, and then when they get to the door, Morpheus says that, G, I can only show you the door, but you have to walk through it. And that's what it means. No one can tell you what the truth is. You have to walk through the door yourself. I can show you and make these videos, but you have to do the work. You have to do the breathing meditations. You have to light the candles. You have to do ancestral veneration. Whatever you feel that you need to do to connect to the inner God within you, you have to do that. I can't do it for you. You have to research things. You have to invest the time. No one can do it for you, which is what the system will have you thinking, that there's an external Messiah that's coming to save you. No, you lazy people. I almost said you you lazy people. No, the Messiah is gonna come from within you. You have to resurrect it from within you. The Messiah must come from inside. Jesus is not gonna come from on a white cloud on a horse. Why would he come on a hatch? You are the Christ. You are the one that must save yourself. No one else. I can only show you the door. You must walk through it. Stop being lazy here, expecting other people to save you, your pastor to save you, me to save you, your mom, your dad, Jesus Christ, God. No, all of these beings must come from within you. God must come from inside you and be like, hey, I've been you all along. Waiting for Jesus in sandals and a robe with blue eyes and blonde hair to come save you from the hood. My game. You're playing games. Let's continue on here, family. So now they're taking Neo to see the oracle. I can only show you the way. So now Neo is seeing all these gifted kids here, right? And then cover here what they saw. Remember that they said follow the white rabbit. The white rabbit within itself, the rabbit represents what? In Easter, the rabbits don't lay eggs, but then rabbits, they are one of those animals that can like have many babies because they deal with what reproduction. So they also deal with the feminine principle, which again goes back to the Matrix. When Neo is there, one of the kids in the TV, there are these giant rabbits there. So rabbits are a thing within this movie because they represent the feminine principle. They represent the womb, the matrix, the matriarchy, the feminine, the fleshly body, the incarnation that you are in. So now they show that in the background. Boom, boom, and then and then the kid says, one of the kids says to Neo, don't try to bend the spoon. It's impossible. Realize the truth. Neo says, what truth? And then the kid said, there is no spoon. It's not the spoon that's bent. It's not the spoon that bends. It's you. It means that you create your reality. You bend things according to your own particular psyche. So now Neo meets the oracle, which represents the feminine principle. Because like in the past, women were the ones who were the oracles because they represent matter and water, and the masculine represents fire and air. The woman was the one who could tell you what it is that matter deals with. She's the one who could tell you. She's the nurturer. She's the one who sustains. She is that, so she can tell you. That's why they were the oracles that could tell you who you were in a past life or who you going to be in a future life. Just like Morpheus was telling Neo in the simulation, is like what you are seeing now is your residual self-image, which means it is the image of yourself that you are creating yourself to be based on your past lives or based on the projection of who you could be in your future life. So that's who now the oracle is there. So now they're going there because she represents that. She's the feminine principle within Neo. She's the female. So now she also tells Neo to look above the door, and there is written in Latin, know thyself, which is an ancient Egyptian African saying that, man, know thyself and you shall know God and the universe. So you have to walk through the door, through the portal of self-knowledge in order to know God as you being a reflection of it. Let's continue on here. So the next scene, Cypher betrays them, and then they capture Morpheus, and then now the agent tells tells Morpheus in the scene where they've captured him. Am I still recording? I'm still recording. He tells Neo about how the Matrix happened and how he wants what's in his mind. Zion is in here. Zion is in Morpheus' mind, right in here, within the brother's mind, the melanated brother's mind. And then boom. So the agents begins to tell him that people are like a cancer, but they're not really talking. Bro, if you look at what the people who are cutting the trees, killing animals, putting animals in zoo, enslaving people, if you look at a particular, like, you'll know who the cancer is. You'll be like, nah, there's a specific group, a tiny group of people that are the cancer. This doesn't have to do with races, that is black, white. No, within there's a specific group of people that they call them the 13 families, or the people who are ruling the world. They are the cancer in this world. They are the ones who go to particular places and dominate and want to take over the physical world. So they are the cancer. So Smith was talking to the agents, which is them. They are the cancer, but then they have this thing that Dr. Who's this black lady? She passed on. May she rest in peace. Dr. Frances Wells. She wrote a book called ISIS, the ISIS Papers. Yeah, she talks about white, like the genes, like the genes between blacks and whites and all of that, and the superiority between all of that. You should check her out. And then so now like he's talking about them, like he's actually the cancer. And Isis Chris speaks about how these beings have a this disease of projecting things, like something that they hate about themselves, they project to others. Say that Africans were cannibals, but then that time Africans were cannibals, they were not civilized. That time Africans thousands of years ago had bananas, avocados, everything that they could need. Why would you need to eat your brother or sister if Earth, as they say in Hidden Colors, from who's this homie? I forgot my homie's like, if the Earth has given you bananas, mangoes, and all of this, why would you need to eat another human being's flesh? It's what we call projection. They are projecting to you. So now let's continue on here. So they save Morpheus. Neo was like, I feel like I can save him. And so they save Morpheus. And then as Neo is about as Neo is about to say that he's not the one, Morpheus says to him, he says that there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. You can't just keep saying things. You must walk the path. You must do the things. You must do the work. You must walk the actual spiritual path. You can't just keep talking about it. You must actually put action behind it. Actions speak louder than words. There's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. So then now, as they're going, an agent pops up out of a hobo, because the agents, as they said, they could pop up anyway. It pops out of the hobo, and then now they start having a whole conflict. They shoot Neo, and then Neo temporarily dies, which is symbolic of the ego finally giving in. So his ego finally gave in, and then he resurrected. Let's see here what I said here. Yeah, so now when he was fighting the agent in the train station, he says the agent was like, Mr. Anderson. He's like, my name is Neo. So that is the changing of consciousness. That's him finally accepting that he's the one. Neo, N-E-O, is also the one. O-N-E, the one, Neo, neocortex, new brain. So he's finally accepting who he is. So this happens all throughout the Bible. Who's this guy? Paul, who was once Saul, he changed his name from Saul to Paul after his consciousness got illuminated when he got struck by that flash of lightning, or he got hit by lightning. Jacob changed his name from Jacob to Israel. Many people in the Bible change the name because the changing of name is symbolic of the enlightening, of you becoming a new man. you stepping out of who you were into stepping into the new particular being that you are. So now he finally accepts that he is who? He is Neo. He is the one. He's changing his name. He can control his own reality. And then this part is very important. Trinity whispers to him that she loves him, and then after that he resurrects. So that right there lets you know that love is the resurrector. Love is what brings you to that. Love is that revives you. Choose love. Love is what revives you. So Neo was resurrected by love. Now he's above the heart chakra. He's now ascending into the higher chakras because love deals with this particular chakra, which deals with connection. So now he begins to understand his connection to the whole system. That's why he could just pop up and be like, no, and stop the bullets, and then fight the agents on some like, hey, are you trying to punch me, man? And he's not even looking at the agent, man, because now he is tapped into his higher self, connected to the God within. He is beginning to believe. So he's changing the whole programming of the whole system. Let's continue on. He sees the matrix now. He sees it for what it really is. He sees it. He sees the ones and the zeros. So now, how did he defeat his enemy? He jumped into him and then it blew up. So that's just symbolic of that. If you want to defeat the agents, the enemies, doubt, guilt, fear, lust, all of these things, go inside it. Go inside it. Face it. Go into the cave. Face the darkness. You can't destroy it, and you can't destroy it from the outside. You must destroy it from the inside. And then the movie particularly ends with Neo saying that I'm going to show them a new world, a world without borders or control, a world without boundaries. And then he's finally illuminated, and then boom, man. He takes off, he flies off now. You say, brave man. Oh, so what's fly my when now you can fly. Yeah, you can. Because his mind has been freed. So he's elevated now. He's moving into the different state of his own psyche. That right there, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! That is the Matrix decoded. I don't know how long this video is, but that is the Matrix decoded. That is the Matrix decoded. Woo! Wow. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel. Also share these videos with your friends. Share it, like, subscribe, and share with other people, because this is how we are doing it. We are awakening each other. We are giving each other the red pill. Nali pili selbovu, nali pili. Here, Baba, take this, Baba. You gotta be free in your mind. Stop conforming to society. Stop being distracted by the lady in the red dress and say to yourself that I am the one. I am Neo, because that's who you are. You are the Christ. You are the Christ, and you will resurrect it all from within you. Thank you, family. Much love, peace, love, and light to you all, family. Until the next time we meet. Woo! Yeah. You want to think that I didn't give them everything? I had to skip some parts. Yo. Hey. Dealing with gods. You are the gods. You are the gods. You are the Elohim. We are the Elohim. We are the Elohim. Read Psalms chapter 82. They say that God renders judgment amongst the gods, right? Who are those gods? Us. We are the Elohim. We are God experiencing itself as us in physicality temporarily until we awaken from the Garden of Eden and know the tree of good and evil, which Morpheus, which is the snake in the garden, first gives Eve, which is Trinity. You remember that in the movie where Trinity, Morpheus, Neo asked Trinity, he's like, you've already done this? And then Trinity was like, yep, I've went through this. That's Eve. Eve had already eaten the apple. It's like Adam's like, we apple, and then she's like, yeah, I've eaten it, and it's like, damn, and then boom, there's a scene in the movie where they say that that's what it is. It's all the same thing. All these stories are the same thing because all of these stories are talking about you. All these stories are talking about you. They are based on what we call mythology and archetypes of the human psyche. Danko! Let me leave it there. Blessings, family. I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting and for watching, because you're not just supporting me, you are supporting the whole universal consciousness. We are awakening. Finally, all of us are Neo. You are the one that I dream about always. Thank you, Rihanna. My love. Okay, no, that's not Rihanna's song. Okay, I'm not gonna end this with Rihanna though. I gotta do something cool. What can I do? Ish, I don't have something blue. Ish. Oh man. What can I do here? Ish. I'm just gonna take two random things and end it. I have to be cool. They're gonna be the most random things you've ever seen. Nia! Do you want the red pill or the blue pill? This is something to open the window. Actually, this is deep. Look at what the red pill is. Dark light consciousness. And these are random things that I just picked up. Dark light consciousness. Stepping into this book. I'm done.